So we are tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms rolling through the region. We're going to have all these details coming up.
Plus, a domestic violence shelter in Southeast Kansas raises money to expand services.
Authorities have found the body of Dakota Patton in Neosho County. I'm Amber Jenkins with the story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It's an alert day in the 4 states as storms move into the area. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. We're going to go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy, who's tracking the developments.
Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm watch out until 11 p.m. And look at all the severe thunderstorm warnings: St. Clair, Bates, Vernon, Barton, Crawford, Bourbon, Allen, Neosho, Labette, Montgomery, Wilson, even parts of Woodson counties, as we have a pretty big line of showers and thunderstorms which are dropping through the region at this point in time. And I lost control of my radar, but I'll get it back here real quick. Let's go here real quick. All right, you can see these showers and thunderstorms which are pushing into the region, southeastern parts of Kansas. Nice little line really from just north of Nevada all the way over toward Fort Scott. So these are going to get into Pittsburgh here over about the next hour, Parsons the next 30 minutes, Independence also within about the next 30 minutes. Main threat this evening is going to be gusty winds, 60 to 70, very large hail, golf ball, maybe a little bit bigger, and we can't rule out a tornado or two. Of course, we're going to break this all down for you here in just a bit.
Several years since we've seen a case like this.
That's Labette County Sheriff Darren Eichinger today. Last night, 2 people were arrested in the missing persons and murder case of Dakota Patton. That's after deputies found the body of the Parsons man in a field yesterday morning. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has been following this story, and she has new details about the investigation.
After 13 days of searching, authorities found Dakota Patton's body in a field on Xavier and 20th Road in Neosho County. Authorities say that he died from an apparent gunshot wound.
We worked with the KBI, Neosho County, Kansas Wildlife and Parks, and everybody took an interest in it. And I think that's the most important part, that we all work together to solve the crime.
Taney County, Missouri authorities arrested Clinton Nembarger and Kimberly Thomas. They're charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Nembarger was reportedly the last person to see Patton alive, arguing with him at a gas station, allegedly over a woman. Patton's family previously told me that the family became suspicious of Nembarger starting April 25th.
He called me and see what he could do to help. I told him to come down here and help us search, and he wouldn't do it. He said, "Oh, I've had a few beers. I probably shouldn't be down there."
An Oklahoma marriage license reveals that on the same day that Patton's vehicle was found abandoned in a field, Nembarger and Thomas got married in Iowa County. The sheriff says they then traveled to Missouri for the honeymoon.
We are still doing follow-up leads and stuff on it, but next point it will be is they'll get the extradition and they'll be extradited back to Neosho County.
Patton's family is thankful for the support from the community. Their GoFundMe link is available on KOAMNewsNow.com.
Amber, did Patton know Nembarger before that argument at the gas station?
Yes, according to the family, the 2 men had a long history between each other. In fact, they would categorize it as kind of frenemies. They had ups and downs for years to come, and they suspect that argument at the gas station that day just blew up.
All right, Amber Jenkins, thanks so much. Missouri's senior homeowners would be spared from rate hikes on property taxes under a bill passed by state lawmakers. If signed by Governor Mike Parson, it would be up to counties to approve the property tax breaks. The freeze on property tax rates would apply only to the primary residences of people 65 and older. The legislation would also end state taxes on Social Security benefits beginning in 2024. Currently, Missouri residents pay taxes on Social Security only if they make more than $85,000 a year or $100,000 a year if married. The Department of Health and Environment in Kansas has concluded a health study conducted by a chemical contamination site in Wichita. In 1998, it was discovered that chemicals from a spill in the 1970s or 80s were still in the ground at a Union Pacific rail yard. Researchers found higher rates of liver cancer in that area around the leak. Those rates were double the typical rate in the state among black residents. They also found more instances of low birth weight, though those instances have been decreasing since 2000. The study's authors concluded these health issues cannot be definitively tied to the contamination since many other factors could influence them. Hope Unlimited in Iola, Kansas, it is an emergency shelter for women and men who are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Currently, Hope Unlimited has a house in Iola with 10 beds. But the organization has had to turn people away and would like to build a bigger and better house for the growing need of victims. KOAM's Kerry Worthen has more.
It made me realize how many people walk around and need to know that, they have a card in their back pocket to know that, no matter how bad things get, that that there is there's a number you can call 24/7, and people will come take you out of that situation and take you to a shelter. And it made me realize that's a really important thing for our community. It's important for a lot of folks.
Nicholas Lohman and his wife Debbie are co-chairs of the Committee for Hope Unlimited that is helping to raise money for new emergency shelter that is in the plans to be built. Hope Unlimited started in 1985 with volunteers from the community letting men and women shelter at their houses until the organization was gifted a house.
And the goal of the shelter is to prevent many things, but one of them is homelessness, right? And so for some people, the choice is either I go into a shelter or I'm homeless. And so it's to, they can get a new job, get on their feet, and then leave the shelter and get off to a good footing, which is, I think, what everyone wants.
A few of the necessities the new emergency shelter will have is better physical security system, commercial kitchen, more space, and even daycare.
I'm a big guy, right? Like I'm 5'17", and I don't really walk around ever not feeling safe, right? Like it's never a thought in my mind. And before I really started to work with Hope Unlimited, I was kind of vaguely aware that this is something they did, and I never really thought about it as I learned more.
Donita Gardner has worked with Hope Unlimited for 25 years and has seen the growth of the organization, but also the need.
I think it can make a bigger impact than not just providing a roof over their head, but help heal all of the things that they've had going on. I think that makes that connection there.
In Iola, Kerry Worthen, KOAM News.
That new house is estimated to have 32 beds for women, men, and their children. Coming up, a final piece is added to a Southwest Missouri Veterans Memorial. Plus, some kids get together in Carthage to take a trip back in time. The Veterans Memorial at the Carterville, Missouri Cemetery is now complete. Officials today placed the final memorial stone on its pedestal, this one honoring Vietnam War veterans. The first stone placed on the memorial honored Civil War veterans. It was placed in 2018. Now there are also stones honoring veterans from World Wars I and II and the Korean War. History comes alive for some students in Carthage. Carthage Intermediate Center today hosted its Great Americans Day event in Central Park. The event featured volunteers who dressed up as historical figures to teach local students about their importance and the values they embodied. Each character not only talked about their life and historical facts, they also had a trait that they taught the kids, such as forgiveness, perseverance, honesty, trustworthiness. One student told us about the figures he most looked forward to see.
Mostly because Abraham Lincoln was the guy that helped slaves, get out and stuff, and Squanto was one of the people that started Thanksgiving, from what I know.
About 400 fifth graders from 3 area schools attended that event. The YMCA in Carthage got some new life in a green sense. Today, the gym hosted a ribbon cutting for their brand new community pantry garden. And after the ribbon cutting, there was an open house. There was a sale on bunnies, honey, and plants.
That we need things like fresh carrots, fresh potatoes, those kinds of things that really make a difference on the nutritional content of your food. And we also do an education piece out here every month for little preschoolers all the way up to, we have a homeschool network that also comes out.
Proceeds from the sale benefit the garden. That open house ends at 7 p.m. this evening. A little bit later, Final Four for Pitt State. We're going to hear from the baseball team as they prepare for the semifinal of the MIAA tournament.
Plus, thunderstorms continue to work through during the overnight hours. I'm going to have those details coming up. Well, of course, we've been tracking showers and thunderstorms across the region over the past several hours, and we're going to continue to have these as we go through the next few hours. Severe threat across the region, severe thunderstorm watch across parts of Kansas and also into Missouri until 11 p.m. Now, all these counties that are popping up in the yellow, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So we're looking Bates, Vernon, Barton, Crawford, up into Bourbon counties. And then you can actually see the watch is starting to get chopped off on the backside because our severe threat has dropped. So this band is going to push on through. We are going to have a severe threat over the next 2, 3, maybe 4 hours once you get into our southern counties. Main threat as we go through the evening hours is going to be very gusty winds, 60 upwards to 65, and possibly golf ball size hail. But you can see this band drifting south and east, now starting to pick up some steam. And then ahead of it, we're getting a few scattered thunderstorms that are popping up ahead of this main band. Let's go ahead and we're going to do a tour. We're going to zoom in. So we're going to go up toward El Dorado Springs here, Stockton Lake. Severe thunderstorm warning till 7 p.m. This is going to be for Vernon County. So this is just north of Nevada. So here's I-49 stretching north toward Ridge Hill. These continue a little bit farther toward the west. Once you get over toward Fort Scott, right along 69, very intense storms. Let's go a little bit farther south. You can see our severe thunderstorm warning continues. Crawford County and also Barton County, but Liberal and Pittsburgh, Frontenac, you guys still have 20-ish minutes before these storms start to work in. Let's track a little bit farther west. We're going into Neosho County, so Erie, picking up very strong storms at this time just north of Parsons. If you live in Parsons or Lebec County, down toward Oswego, Chautauqua, you will get the storms once we get here in about 20 to 30 minutes. A little farther toward the west, here's Montgomery County, Independence, Coffeyville, Caney. You will all get into the action as we go through about the next 20 minutes or so. Let's go through time. So these storms, they're going to continue to sink south and east. I do think once they get to the I-44 corridor, they will start to weaken. So after mainly 9 p.m., I think we're going to kind of switch over to just moderate to strong storms, maybe a low-grade severe thunderstorm. So I do think our severe threat after 9 p.m. will start to drop. Look at this, though. This is pretty widespread rain, which we definitely need. We still have the drought situation going on. Let's move to 10 p.m. Thunderstorms now, northeastern Oklahoma, through the Joplin Metro, just good old storms. Southwestern parts of Missouri, they will continue to plunge off toward the south as we go through the rest of the night. And after midnight, these guys are pretty much gone, and then we'll start to dry out just a little bit as we go through the rest of the night. You can see the ominous looking clouds, 7th and range line. We are looking off toward the north and to the west with those showers and thunderstorms which are increasing. Now this isn't it for rain. Of course, we had some severe weather last night, and then of course severe weather tonight. I do think tomorrow we look okay. We're just going to get some showers, a few thunderstorms in here late in the day into the evening hours, but I don't anticipate anything severe. But once we get into Thursday, that's where we could see the severe weather return. Now check this out. This is rainfall amounts for about the next 5 days, or at least the potential for rain as we go all the way into the weekend. A lot of areas are going to pick up 1, 2, maybe upwards to 3 inches of rain, something that we greatly need across the region. Let's go 83 tomorrow. Some late day storms, some evening storms on Thursday. Friday, not looking too bad. Thunderstorms Friday night into Saturday morning, but all 3 of those could be severe weather events. And then again, a chance for storms next Wednesday. But if you look at the temperatures overall, we are looking pretty good. Of course, meteorologist Sam Lane and I, we're here in the Weather Center, and we're going to be manning any storms that we get for the rest of the evening.
As you say, the area, particularly southeast Kansas, needs the rain.
We do.
Rather not get it all at once, but we'll take what we can get.
Whatever we can get.
Thanks, Jeff. Still ahead, it's championship night at the Class 2 District 6 softball tournament in Mount Vernon, and Pittsburgh hosts Labette County, aiming to stay in the hunt for the SEK League title. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more up next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are still alive in the MIAA Conference Tournament. The Gorillas are in the Final Four in the bracket after beating Central Oklahoma in the first round last weekend. And next up for Pittsburgh State, It's a big one. The Gorillas face the top seed in the bracket, Central Missouri, in the tournament semifinals Thursday afternoon. Now, UCM is ranked 4th in the country, took 2 out of 3 from Pitt State when they met in the regular season. Now, here's PSU on what they took from that series and the challenges that Central Missouri presents.
They just played the game really great. They had some good pitching, some good hitting. They did all the little things right, and we're just hoping we can go out and do everything a little bit better than they do.
They don't walk people. They don't give you opportunities unless you make your opportunities. So that's what we have to go do. You know, I thought it was a pretty good series when we played them here 3 weeks ago. We got to play better. We know that, and hopefully we can go do that. We got a lot of work to do. Ultimately, we want to play the following week and make our regional for the first time since I've been here, and we got work to do to get to there probably as well. So we need to go play good baseball, compete, and give ourselves a chance to have our name called on Sunday.
The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are in the final week of the regular season. The Dragons are 12-5 overall, including 8-2 in the SEK. And Pittsburgh still has a chance to share the SEK League Championship. They need to win their final 2 conference games, plus have Chanute beat Fort Scott on Thursday. First things first, though, Pittsburgh at home this afternoon hosting SEK rival Labette County. They'll start at the top of the second. Grizzlies strike first. Kagan Bates, base hit with the bases loaded, scores a pair of runs. Labette County up 2-0 early. Pittsburgh gets 5 in the bottom of the second. Then in the third, Grant O'Doherty drops one into right center. Quentin Fears scores 2 more for the Dragons in the third, makes it 7-2. Then next inning, big swing from Tucker Akins in the gap to the wall out there. That scores Dawson Stegman from second, double for Akins. Pittsburgh finishes it off in 5 innings, cruising by Labette County 12-2. On Southwest Missouri, Webb City, just 2 games left before the playoffs. They're at home against Kickapoo in that one. Low-scoring game, but Webb City falls 2-0. Local softball now. It's championship night at the Class II District 6 tournament in Mount Vernon. Tournament host Mountaineers face Diamond tonight. That one's still going top of the third. Diamond leads it 3-0. Pittsburgh State's Cordell Tinch has been named the Division II National Track and Field Athlete of the Week. Tinch won 3 individual MIAA championships over the weekend, but it's what he did in the 110-meter hurdles and the long jump that has earned him national recognition. And on Saturday, Tinch won the long jump with a wind-aided mark of 27 feet and a half inch. That is the second best all-conditions mark in Division II history. Then in the 110 hurdles on Sunday, he posted a time of 12.97 seconds. That is also the second best all-conditions mark in Division II history. Tinch helped the Gorillas claim their 8th outdoor MIAA championship in the last 12 years. And that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to hear from a Joplin hotel on what a new tourism survey means for their business. Plus, KDOT representatives are at the Pittsburgh City Commissioners meeting presenting information about a proposed Highway 69 bypass. Those stories and a lot more is coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Of more immediate concern, though, is the weather, Doug.
Yeah, we got severe thunderstorms continuing to drop through. Severe thunderstorm warnings from Fort Scott, Nevada to Lamar, Pittsburgh. These are for winds at 60 and quarter-size hail stretching back into southeastern Kansas. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
Final sports note.
Well, we told you Cordell Tinch from Pittsburgh State was the National Track and Field Athlete of the Week. It's the second time he's earned that this season. He's breaking records seemingly every week.
Very impressive. Thanks for joining us. Please be careful out there, and let's make it a great evening.